Pakistan, Jai, Jai, Pakistan, Dil, Pakistan, Jai, Jai, Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum, man. It's your host Imad again, and it's been a while since we last saw each other. So, what we got today is a brand new show. It's called Immy's Answer. So now on Twitter, loads of questions. Sometimes people ask you a question and you think, okay, am I going to get the point across properly? You can't really. So you know what? I'm going to do it via YouTube sometimes now. I'll interact once a week, every Monday, as long as Pakistan ain't playing at the right that time. Basically, on a Monday, we will interact and I'll answer some of your questions. So that's that. Make sure you keep following us, subscribing to the YouTube channel at Stanley Army, the Twitter account at Stanley Army. Press that bell icon as well on the YouTube. We need your support. We're the fans for the fans, as you always know. And without further ado, we're going to get on with this. So the first question we've got is Ehsan 8, and he asks, what's the best game that I've been to in a stadium, that is? I've been to a few that, over my time. So I started back in 92 and the last game I went to was in 2019. I had tickets for last year, I've got tickets for this year. What happens, we don't know. My first ever game was Pakistan versus England, Lords, and I saw Fakhar winning a game with the bat, not with the ball. And the last game that I witnessed live was Pakistan versus Bangladesh at Lords in the World Cup. The best game, I think there's a few out there. The Oval 2010, Umar Gul 6 for 42, I think it was. One of my favourites. The 2009 World T20 final. I mean, Champions Trophy final, 2017. And there was a couple of World Cup games. Edgbaston, I think that was the best atmosphere I've been to. Pakistan, New Zealand, probably not the best game, but best atmosphere. And the Afghanistan World Cup game. So it could be one out of them. If I push comes to shove, the Champions Trophy final. I mean, just for the pure occasion and the victory, everything else. So that's my favourite game. I'll carry on with the easy ones. So Zaman at Longon asking me what Pakistan's chances at the 2023 World Cup. It's a long way to go with Pakistan cricket. I can't predict what's going to happen next week, or this week, should we say, Friday. It's a long way to go. We're going to win it. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to win it. I mean, I can't say anything else. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, we're going to be going to India. Let's see how we progress. We've hardly played any ODI cricket. We've only played, 5 games since the World Cup finished. So the preparation hasn't even started yet. So it's a long way to go. Let's see how we prepare for this, if we go in the right directions. This week we've got 3 games. So let's see. Cricket Fanati 17's asking me what I think of Fakhar Zaman as an ODI cricketer. Very, very good. A lot of people judge him based on his recent T20 form, which hasn't been great, and hence he's now not in the squad. But his ODI form has been very good, and his record stacks up with any of our openers, from the past. I mean, Seyden were apart, Seyden was Seyden, but anyone after that, him and Imam sort of stand out. We need to persist with these two going forward. And then you evaluate as you go along. I mean, again, as I said before, we have hardly played any ODI cricket. So we'll evaluate as we go along. Underscore front full pull. That's a shot. He's asking me Shadab or Usman or both in the ODI team versus South Africa. Hand on heart, I'm the biggest Shadab fan you're going to get, so there's going to be no Shadab criticism from this side. He's still 22, so I think people have written him off too early. He'll come back. He's been injury prone, a lot of games, a lot of pressure. He'll be back. At this present moment, probably Usman is bowling better than him, but I can see why the board is sticking by Shadi, and I think he's going to repay Mohammad Wasim's trust in him. There's a trust there, and I think he's going to repay that. Enough and not taking anything away from Usman. Usman's a wonderful leggy, but yeah, a Shadab for me still at the moment. And can we go with two? Well, why not? I've got no issues with seeing two leggies in a team. Probably though, I think Nawaz will play, but yeah. And Zed Babar is asking me, do I think that Shadab would have made the squad if he wasn't the vice captain? I think he would have. I think Babar trusts him. I think Misbah trusts him, and I think the chief selectors trusts him. I think they're looking at it long term, and they'll believe in him at least for the foreseeable future. I don't think just being vice captain has saved him here. And he's also asking Imad or Nawaz. An interesting one, a very interesting one. I will go with Imad, the better cricketer, I think, overall. Especially with the bat. I think Nawaz edges it with the ball. But I think at this present moment, the way they're playing their cricket and their confidence, their fitness, everything else, I think Nawaz was the right call. It probably gives Imad a wake-up call that he can't take his place for granted anymore, especially in ODI cricket. So yeah, let's see. So that's that. And he's also asking me, Sohail or Haider at number 4. Obviously Haris is not in the squad. Haris has got this issue with his fitness. I mean, there's a thing about his theory that if he's batting more than 10, 12 overs, then he's going to struggle. So that's probably one of the reasons why he's not in the squad. I think they went with Shakil, and I've got a feeling Soul would have played. I think that was a like for like, lefty for a lefty, middle order. I think, but with him getting injured, I think I'm hoping anyhow, yeah, that Danish Aziz gets to go now as well. So yeah, at number 4, Soul Shakil for me now. If we're going to look towards the future, but let's see. For this series, I think Haider at 4 might just be the way to go. Joy Sub 5. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I got that wrong, bro, let me know. He's asking me about my assessment on Wasim Khan and Ehsan Mani. I think they're doing a good job. In fact, you won't find a bigger Wasim Khan fan anywhere than myself. I think they've done a very good job. It wasn't easy. They've had to come in and make changes, domestic structure, etc. The coach, which I wasn't too happy about, but this is Pakistan cricket. You have to make compromises. And then there was the system around, the other board governors not happy. There was journalists not being happy with them, kept getting called the outsider. So yeah, I feel he's done a good job. Unfortunate what happened, with the PSL and the COVID protocol, but he'll overcome that. They both come from a professional background, and this sort of background, only takes you good ways. So they've learned things the right way. Ehsan Mani has held a post at the ICC, and Wasim Khan with Leicestershire, and he was moving into the ECB. So they've held good jobs, and they know how to handle their work and pressure. So I've got no issues with him. I'm just hoping that Wasim renews his contract and stays for many years. Pakistan cricket actually needs a Wasim Khan in charge. Simple Cricketers asking me about Babar Azam and if I think he's a good captain and if he will be successful, and if not, who else? Personally, I didn't want Babar as a test captain because I thought the pressure might hit him. It might affect his the batting. I'm a bit more confident now. I think he's not the sort that it's going to happen to. I think we saw at least one innings against South Africa where in the test matches where he got going. So I think that sort of put my doubts to rest. I mean, it wasn't a great series for him, but I think the doubts sort of going out of my mind. I think Babar will be successful. Yeah, definitely. I think we just need to persist with someone, and we have done it over the last, 12 years since Misbah. We've now started to persist with captains. We've said, okay, the person's a captain, you stick by him, you work around him, and that's the only way you're going to be successful. So, thumbs up for me for Babar. TJ out in 360 is now asking me about Imad Wasim and should he have been retained in the ODI squad. I said earlier, I think it's a wake-up call for him. I think Imad is the better cricketer right now, so Imad has been picked. Do I believe that Imad will be back? Yes, he will be. But this is a wake-up call for him. So yeah, that's that. I think it was a right call under the circumstances. So let's see how it goes with that. I mean, the ball's in his court now. He's got to come out and perform in the PSL, anywhere else, domestic cricket. He needs to go and show through the vitality burst, wherever he's going to be at the 100, that he needs to up his game and show that he deserves place. And same way with Mohammad Nawaz. If and when he gets the chance in the South Africa series, he needs to make that count to keep his place. So it's a healthy thing to have. Mr. Crawley123 is asking me if I think there's an emerging or upcoming cricketer who can be an all-time great if groomed properly. That's a very tough one. All-time great. I mean, Babar is the last one. Maybe Yunus Khan was the one before that. When you talk about all-time great. But yeah, very good cricketers do come along and everything else. If groomed correctly, I think Mohammad Rizwan Jr. From what I've seen, I think he's got good potential. I mean, I'm not talking about all-time great. I'm talking about very good cricketers that could come through. And we do waste. We waste so many. So yeah, Mohammad Wasim Jr. is one, and our new Chinaman, I think it will be an all-time great Chinaman, at least for thus far, Faisal Akram. I think he's going to be the one. So that's that. Nothing really else. I can't even think. Yeah, so that's the two that I'm going to pick up right now that I say, they'll become very good cricketers for us. Cricket Fire 999 is asking me to predict the result for the Pakistan versus South Africa, or the South Africa versus Pakistan series. So if I had to go for it, I think 2-1 Pakistan in the ODIs. And in the T20s, looking at their squad, anything less than 3-0, I'll be very disappointed. Mohammad Usama is asking me about the squad selections and why there's always an uproar around it. You know what? It's one of them. Just open up a WhatsApp group if anyone's got a cricket WhatsApp group, and just ask everyone to name a squad, and you'll have a full-on debate. So it's always going to happen, no matter how close you are. There's always going to be like, I want this player, I want that player, and with social media, you're going to get more of it because there's a lot of everyone has their own preferences, and in some cases, there's a few people who haven't even watched cricket for ages. All they're following is whatever they think at the time is right. So you get a bit of both, and that's one of the reasons why. But once the squad is named, just back the squad, back the team. That's how I've gradually just got along with it now. Just back the team, hope for the best 11 to go out, and just back the team regardless, because once the squad is announced, you can't do nothing about it. Akil Views is asking about Mohammad Rizwan's best position in ODIs. This is a very tricky one, I think. I mentioned Haider earlier as number 4. I think Haider 5. It has to be number 4 because I think the openers are settled. You can't move Babar, so the top 3 are gone. So I think Rizwan at 4 is going to be his ideal position. If we had to just think of like where his best position as a player would be, I would say again it's going to be as an opener, but the slots are just not available, so he's going to have to bat a 4. So he's going to have to adjust to a number 4 and keep going. He did get a couple of hundreds against Australia, and I'm pretty sure they were at 4 just before the World Cup 2019. Still didn't make the squad. So yeah, I'll go for a number 4. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for everything else. You know what? Really appreciate you watching up to the end. That's me. Next Monday I'll be back on that. But before that, there's a couple of other shows. So on Wednesday we will have a preview of the South Africa series. We'll be talking about what we expect, the team, etc. There'll be a panel on that. That's going to be a 7 o'clock UK, 11 p.m. Pakistan time, and then on Friday we'll be covering the game as well. And so that's that. Yeah, again, appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Stanley Army. Really do appreciate everything a lot of you do. And the respect you give me on social media and everywhere else, really do appreciate it. And as always, Pakistan Zindabad.